Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel as we get a nice little Skidoo spawn. Bit of a rare spawn, but Skidoo is apparently in the wild nowadays. So yeah, today on the live stream, we're obviously going to be doing a double header live stream today. We have not only the Darumaka Max Mundi, which is very, very nice little Dynamax to try and get. Skidoo ran away, unfortunately. But we also have the summer concert event. Now, this is day 3 of a summer concert event. Day 2 was yesterday, day 1 on Saturday. And the event is pretty much a 3-hour event, but unlike most 3-hour events where it's 2 till 5, this one is at 5 p.m. till 8 p.m. your local time. And with it, you'll see the in-game music will change, as well as we'll start getting musical notes falling from the sky, which you'll see in just a moment. In 3 minutes' time, you should see that on my screen. And we also get different spawns from the lore modules. And we're going to stick lore modules on all of these stops that you can see around here and walk in a little bit of a loop for the next hour to try and see if we can get the shiny which we want, which is Chatot. Now, Chatot is, of course, a regional Pokemon. Normally, we can't find it here in the UK, and this is going to be the best chance to try and get a shiny Chatot, at least for the time being anyway. Maybe it gets featured in a Go Fest in the next couple of years, where we can hopefully get it shiny then, but this is probably the best time to get it shiny before any sort of Go Fest event where it gets featured in the future. Jonathan, hi, thanks very much for joining. Com Day was actually not too bad, actually. We managed to get around 26 shiny Quaxley yesterday, and our best one was a 96, a 15, 15, 13, which was actually really, really good on the stats, to be honest, because don't normally get many 3-stars on Com Day, so to get a 96 was very, very nice. We did manage to get one Hundo Quaxley, unfortunately not shiny, but we managed to get one Hundo, and that was a level CP 15, so a level 1 in terms of a level. So very, very happy with that. A Hundo level 1. How did you get on, Jonathan? He's just started raining here as well, which isn't brilliant, but the place in which I've chosen to do this summer concert event at 5 o'clock has got a little bit of a shelter, so just preparing myself for the worst. So yeah, if you do see me just wipe the screen every now and again, it is because it's just started raining. We have had a couple of thunderstorms here today. Couldn't really get out. That's a shame, Jonathan. Hopefully you managed to get at least a couple. Oh, you was able to get a shiny. That's nice. It, of course, was a brand new shiny. Most starter Pokemon get debuted in their shiny forms on a Com Day, and Quaxley was no difference. In fact, it was the last one from its generation to get a Com Day, Gen 9. So we've only got the last remaining Gen now, which depends on how quickly we want to release those, but I would say that we're going to take the time with releasing those last 3 starter Pokemon. I think the Pokemon Company best start designing some new starter Pokemon, because we're going to run out very, very soon. So 4:59, we've got 1 more minute until this summer concert event starts, and then we'll do this for around about an hour, and then we will go ahead and do the Darumaka. There you go, you can see musical notes falling now. It is this summer concert. We can go ahead and do a Darumaka Dynamax. Somebody's just asked in the comments if you can see my shiny costume collection. So let's go ahead and quickly show them that. So shiny and costume, 242. Some very, very nice ones. I'm not going to go through them all one by one, but I'll quickly just scroll through. Loads of Wurmples there. Snorlax with Gengar costumes, love the Gengar costumes. Umbreon with a scarf, Snorlax with a hat, Punkaboo with a hat, Slowpoke with a hat, loads of different Pikachus, of course. Aerodactyl with a satchel, only debuted on Go Fest 2023. And go down here, we've got Driflim with a hat, Pikachu with balloons, including a 5 balloon from a 5th anniversary of Pokemon Go. So loads of costumes. I'm not going to go through them all, but let's go ahead and try and put some lore modules on these stops and see what we do get. Now, the lore modules will spawn multiple different Pokemon, including Chatot, mainly like a music theme. Can I have moderator? Unfortunately, Jack, we haven't got to the stage where I've decided on who's going to be a moderator yet. But definitely keep getting involved in the comments, and you may be up for contention. Hey, Xander, how are you? Just going to have to wipe the screen again. So also during the summer concert event. So hi, Kiki, how are you? So also during the summer concert event, we have got the Pokestops that have not guaranteed, but higher chance of having a Spinder task. So Spinder task is do 5 curveball throws in a row. So the Pokestops will have a higher chance of having that task. It looks like we've already picked up one. So we do change what's on the tasks with this summer concert event as well. And the lore modules do last for an hour as well. So you can sit there for an hour if you are in between 2 stops like I am here, and just lure them both up and sit there for an hour. I'm actually going to go ahead and make my way to these other Pokestops and see what we get from these as well when we lure these up. Yeah, you just got to be patient, Jack, I think. I really like the enthusiasm though, but just be patient. A moderator, Kiki, is somebody who regularly tunes into the channel, ideally all the time, and they can sort out the comments and stuff like that to make sure there's no spamming on comments and everything like that. They can block people, they can give people timeouts, and etc, etc. So that's what a moderator does. So here is a Spinder task. No, it's Trubbish task. Let's see if any of these are Spinder. So we're just going to quickly put some lore modules on these as well and see what we get from these. Chatot from that one. Going back to India tomorrow. Where have you been at the moment, Kiki? Where are you now? If you're not in India already. What's my favourite Shundo? I've got to say my Shundo party at Gengar now. Gengar's my favourite, and of course I had to use a bottle cap to get a Shundo Gengar. But yeah, Shundo party at Gengar. Golden Raspberry. So Ardeno still drops a huge amount of Stardust when you catch it. It's quite notoriously known as the Stardust Pokemon. It just doesn't want to stay in the ball every now and again. How many legendaries do you have that are Shundo and not shiny? Not many really. I don't have many legendary Hundos, to be fair. 29, so not many at all. Any Chatot spawning on these stops here? catchy other things, so it makes it easier to see the Chatot when we do spawn. Cricket up there. Noibat. Phone is getting very wet again. My favourite is Groudon from the boss, aka Giovanni. My first fight from research. That is awesome. Congrats on that. Yeah, Shadow Groudon is a very, very cool Pokemon. Very cool. It's just a shame that you can't Mega or Primal these Shadows. That would be just insane if you can. But yeah, it's a shame that you can only Mega Evolve or Primal the normals. Oh, that was a hundo. That is absolutely insane. Congrats on that. That is crazy. Well done on that. I don't think I've seen anybody else with a hundo Shadow Groudon, so huge congrats on that. That is a very, very rare find. So where is this little musical bird? The regional, which we don't normally have in the UK. Seems very few and far between off these incents. So this summer concert event, it started on Saturday. Sunday was the second day. Today is Monday. This is the third day, and we have one final day tomorrow. So hopefully we can get some some Chatot before then, and hopefully a couple of shiny ones, or at least one shiny one. I definitely like a shiny Chatot. Have got one traded, but I would like to get my own. Hundo Shadow Gibble. That is a very, very cool hundo. You have a super cool hundo collection with those two. Starting to rumble with thunder again where I am. But still, we're out here trying to find Chatot. No, definitely don't purify any decent shadows that you've got. I would keep them as normal as the shadow itself, because shadow, there is Chatot. Oh, no shiny. The shadows are 20%, have a 20% increased attack stat, which means you do a lot more attacking damage than your normal equivalent. So for instance, Shadow Garchomp, if you were to evolve your Shadow Hundo Gibble all the way, Shadow Garchomp would do so much more damage, 20% more damage than normal Garchomp in a raid. Even though you can't Mega it, the Shadow is actually better than Mega. So definitely keep it as a Shadow. Let's go back across here and see what this stop is spawned. Noibat. Do you have any rare shinies? It all depends, really. There's some shinies I've got which others would find rare, but just because I've been playing the game long enough, I had it ages ago. So costume shinies always tend to be rare because they only, well, sometimes you get a repeat of a costume. Of course, we had the Lapras of a bow tie yesterday on raids and stuff, and that was a repeat of when it first came out back in 2022. So the costumes do seem to get repeated every now and again. I would say the ones that don't seem to get repeated are the ones from GoFest. So you like the Snorlax with a top hat, the Aerodactyl with a satchel. I've not seen that repeated since London GoFest in 2023. And I would say other ones like the costume Mewtwo, the armored Mewtwo, that's always a very rare Pokemon, although weren't able to get it shiny. Marshadow is a super cool Pokemon. It's just a shame mine was terrible from the stats. Hopefully yours was better than mine. Mine was a 2-star on the RVs. Absolutely terrible. So the Lapras I'm currently buddying at the moment is a Gigantamax Lapras. Hey, thanks very much for joining. Yeah, I'm doing good, thanks. How are you? Chatot spawn. No shiny Chatot. I've got a feeling the Chatot shiny rate during the summer concert event is around about 1 in 64. Could be wrong, it could be a bit higher than that, but it's definitely boosted. Normally it's 1 in 512. Of course, normally it's only found in certain parts of the world, whereas during this event it is globally, but only from lore modules that you put down between 5 PM and 8 PM in the evening. Yes, it is Aston. It is a shiny G-Max that we have as our buddy. Wasn't from this weekend, it was from the first time round. I didn't manage to get any shiny G-Max Lapras last weekend, unfortunately. But yeah, we did get 3 the first time it came round. I did trade 2 of those away, so I'm only left with the best one that I had out of the 3. But yeah, it's super cool. Shiny Gigantamax. I think when it comes to shiny Gigantamax, I think the difference, obviously with Gigantamax, they do the same amount of damage no matter what the stats are. So like an 84% would do the same damage as a hundo if you're just using it as the attacker. So if you're just switching into it to use it as your attacker, it does the same amount as attack stat damage. So when it comes to Gigantamax shinies, I always go and try and power those up ahead of any decent normal ones that I've managed to get. So yeah, most of my level 50 Gigantamax Pokemon are shiny ones that I've managed to obtain. I'd much rather power up a shiny than a normal in terms of Gigantamax. Of course, if you're using a Pokemon in normal raids, then of course you do want to power up the highest stat one, so a hundo or a 98, 96. But yeah, with G-Max raids and D-Max raids, it isn't too much of a difference really. Come on, Chatot, where are you? Wait for these 3 to spawn. There's Poplo, Jigglypuff, and Lotad. And speaking of Jigglypuff, it is Jigglypuff Spotlight Hour tomorrow. What am I going to use on the D-Max Latios and Latias this weekend? So I'm not too sure what I'm going to go in with yet. I haven't sat down and studied what's going to be good against them. I think G-Max Gengar may be a good shield to use. But yeah, I'm going to have to sit down and study what's potentially going to be good against them. With them being dragon types, I would say Gmax Lapras may be a good shout with ice moves. But yeah, I'm going to have to sit down and study. I'll probably do a video later on in the week talking about the Dynamax Latios and Latias event, the battle weekend, and also what I'm going to use as a team once I've done a bit more research. Well, yeah, this week is going to be a little bit chaotic for me with other things that I've got going on. Yeah, Zaramazenta and Zacian are a decent tank as well. So I think Gmax Gengar, Zacian and Zaramazenta as a tank. And then attacker-wise, you probably want to try and find, I don't think there is a Dragon Gmax that we've had so far. So you can't do a Dragon against a Dragon. But yeah, you potentially could do an Ice. Motard. Where is Chatot? I want to get rid of that heat more, really, so I don't miss any spawns that are on underneath it. Lotad, though, is big enough. The weather really doesn't know what to do here today. Seems to be quite mild and sunny one second and then thunderstorms the next. I think it just needs to absolutely chuck it down with rain and then hopefully it gets it out of its system. Chatot, no shiny. There we go, we managed to catch that. So of course the water festival ended yesterday as well at 8 PM. So how did everybody manage to get on with the water festival? When are you pulling up the daily incense? So I'll be doing the daily incense as we go around for Darumaka at 6 PM. So when we go and do Darumaka Max Monday at 6 PM, we'll do our daily adventure incense then as well. All being well, the rain stays away. Cricketer underneath the heat more, which we finally managed to move on. Nice, that is very cool. I know Finneon wasn't even shiny boosted, so you did very well there. Was 1 in 512 for Finneon during the event. The shiny boosted Pokemon were Staryu and Tortuga. But I was shiny chasing the Lapras with a bow from raids and research tasks. So research task was win a raid. So I tried to find 3 of those before then doing a Lapras raid, so I could have 4 encounters all at once. And it was an absolute pain to try and find 3 winner raid tasks. They were very, very rare tasks from Pokestops. But we managed to get on the last raid of the event, 15 minutes before it finished, we managed to get a shiny Lapras with a bow, and I was very, very happy with it. And it also had the background, which was over the moon with. It was only 2-star, but still, shiny Lapras with a bow, with a background on the last raid of the event, which was absolutely, I couldn't have asked for any more luck really in that moment. I was thinking, well, I even said when I was claiming it, this is my last chance to get a shiny Lapras, and all of a sudden, boom, there it was. So, over the moon with that, really. I got a couple Lapras with a background. They didn't seem overly rare, the backgrounds. I think probably 1 out of every 3 that I did had a background. I know you couldn't get the backgrounds from the research tasks, so you couldn't get a background from the win a raid research task. But you can see there I managed to get 3 Laprases with a background, and then 4 with me shiny one. Oh, perhaps you were rarer than what I thought. Felt like I got a lot more than that, but obviously not. I did manage to do around about 60 encounters with the research tasks and the raids. I'd say 60 Lapras encounters during the course of the event. So I was about on odds for the shiny. I think it was 1 in 64, the Lapras shiny. Come on, Chatots. All these 3 turn into Chatot now. I'll be over the moon. So I think you get a spawn virtually every 60 seconds from these incense. We have 1 Chatot. No shiny. Yeah, it appears I did get very, very lucky with backgrounds. That Chatot didn't catch, so I'm trying to click on it again. There we go. There we go, it stayed in the ball that time. Is there a Chatot from this end stop? No, odd no. There's going to be tracks in this bit of grass here where I'm walking. There's going to be tracks where I'm just walking backwards and forwards. Have we managed to get any decent Chatot? We managed to get a 3-star there. Not terrible. 11, 15, 13. Not terrible on that one. Another Chatot. Hey Vincent, how are you? Thanks so much for joining. Hopefully you're doing all right, mate. How good is this one? Terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. It's about right, that is. Neubot. Don't know why I'm really catching these. I perhaps shouldn't be catching anything that isn't Chatot to save on Pokeballs, but still. Not a bad little spot here. I can actually pick 4 of these Pokestops up all in this one spot here. It's just a shame we have to walk a little bit further back for that extra one. Chatot, no shiny. 719. Jigglypuff on that one. Explore 2 kilometers. We're working towards that. Just by walking backwards and forwards by the looks of it. Chatot, no shiny. 169. I don't know, we'll definitely catch that for the Stardust. So another thing to remember as well is tomorrow morning we get the Ultra Unlock event, the second Ultra Unlock event, and that debuts the Hone Edge, which is of course on 1-star raids exclusively, and then it also debuts Shiny Rookidee, which is a very, very cool shiny, which I would assume means that Rookidee would be available shiny from Dynamax from tomorrow as well. So maybe you can get a shiny Dynamax Rookidee, although it would be full odds, 1 in 512 for that. But of course, with that event, it is another event where we get 4 times catch XP and 4 times catch Stardust. So with it also being the last day of the summer concert event tomorrow, if you did exactly what I'm doing now, going backwards and forwards and catching the Ardeno and Chatot from these stops, each and every Ardeno you catch tomorrow evening during that event will actually give you around about 12,000 Stardust with a star piece on. So a huge amount of Stardust per catch. So normally with a star piece, you get around about 3,500 XP, well, you can times that by 4 as of tomorrow. Sorry, Stardust, should I say. About 3,500 Stardust per Ardeno with a star piece. But you should be able to times that by 4 tomorrow. And this one does not want to stay in the ball. I'm not going to try any more times after this ball, because I don't want to miss out on any Chatot spawn, which there isn't, unfortunately. $600 million XP, that would be a super cool goal, that would. I'm going to hit, hopefully, by the end of this month, with the next event, I'm going to be hopefully closer to 900. Maybe pushing it there, trying to do 40 million in a week's of event. It's possible, but still, I don't know if I'll be playing that much. $900, yeah. I would only hope that I can hit 900 before the end of this next Ultra Unlock event, but I have got quite the challenge of me on Wednesday. Now, on Wednesday, I don't know whether I'm going to be live tomorrow for Spotlight Hour. I'm not sure yet. I'm going to have to wait and see, because on Wednesday morning, and all day Wednesday, in fact, I'm doing another charity walk. And some of the subscribers from over a year ago now may have remembered that I did do a charity walk last year. And this year I'm doing another charity walk. And I'm actually going to be walking 37 miles, which is around about 60 kilometers in one day. I'm going to be doing that for charity on Wednesday. And it's going to be by myself. So it's going to be very, very difficult. But I will be doing that on my second channel. I will be putting a few live videos up and stuff like that. So if you do want to go ahead and support me on my second channel when I'm doing that on Wednesday, then you can go ahead and do that. It's Steps to Support, number 2. So Steps to Support. That is my second channel. And no doubt if you go on that, you'll be able to see a couple of videos and see my ugly face on the screen, and you'll soon know it's me. So yeah, make sure to go check it out. And I will be doing, hopefully, a couple of Pokemon Live videos as well throughout the day, just to break up the day a little bit. May only go live for a half an hour here and there, but it may just break the day up a bit and help me carry on walking. Yeah, 37 miles in a day, raising money for the cancer wards, which treated my dad a couple of years ago who had cancer. So yeah, I want to give something back to them. Cricketot. Couple of Cricketots. So yeah, it will be by far the furthest I've walked in the day. So yeah, for those who live in the UK who work in miles, 37 miles, which is 60 kilometers. Yeah, he got me all clear 6 months after he got diagnosed. He got me all clear, got put into remission. So he has to go keep regular checkup appointments and stuff like that. But yeah, it's not returned as of yet, touch wood. So yeah, we can only hope that stays the case. That Chatot's just despawned there, which is a little bit annoying. Very annoying, in fact. Now turned into a Lotad. Very, very annoying. Knowing my luck, that was a shiny. Knowing my luck. Yeah, I think the furthest I've walked up to now is just over 30 miles. So 37. And for anybody who's done long distance walking, when you start to get to your limit, every single step hurts. So when I did 30 miles in a day, I very much thought that was my limit. So to think I've got to do another 7 is pretty crazy. And to be honest, I'd be lying if I didn't say I wasn't worried and I wasn't nervous about doing it, but it's all for a good cause and I'm going to try my best and hopefully we can do it. Hopefully we can get across the finishing line. It's going to be roughly around about 14 hours of continuous walking. So I'm starting off at 5:30 in the morning and should be finished by about 7:30 in the evening. So yeah, if you did want to keep in touch with how I'm doing on that challenge, and like I say, Steps to Support is my second channel where I will be posting all the info. When is this charity walk? It's on Wednesday. It's on Wednesday, the 23rd of July. It's all self-organised by myself. It's all self-planned by myself. The route has been planned by myself. So yeah, it is one hell of a route. But yeah, hopefully we raise quite a lot of money for the cancer wards that treated me dad. That'll be a good thing to do. I will be streaming on my Steps to Support channel, where I'll just be streaming while I'm walking every now and again. I'll do probably a stream every 2 hours, just to give people like a 15-minute update on how I'm getting on. So the first one will probably be about 8 a.m. in the morning, and then at 10 a.m., 12 p.m, and so on and so forth. But I'll also jump on Pokemon live stream in between the other live streams every now and again. So I'll probably jump on this live stream for a couple of minutes in between, just to play a bit of Pokemon, just to break the day up a little bit. Of course, try and make the most of a 4x Catch XP event as well. That'll be going on. What's going to spawn on these ones? Any Chatots? Noibat, Lotad. So the lore modules during this summer concert event, if I didn't mention it before, they do last for an hour instead of half an hour. So you get twice the amount of lore module time, and they only spawn these specific Pokemon: Jigglypuff, Noibat, Lotad, obviously Chatot, Ardeno. Video idea: I played Pogo 14 hours straight for charity. That would be quite a cool, cool charity thing to do. I like the idea, Jonathan. I don't know if my phone battery would be able to do it, even if I do carry like 3 or 4 charger packs. I don't know whether it will be able to do it or not. Maybe it's a challenge for when I've got a new phone. One with a lot bigger battery. Hey Pikachu, how are you? Thanks so much for joining. We are Chatot hunting at this moment in time. Jigglypuff, Jigglypuff. It's Pikachu 108 from your friends list. I did think it was you, but wasn't 100% sure. I know I've had a couple of people in the comments before that are called Pikachu. So yeah, thanks for letting me know for sure which one it was. Hopefully you're having a good day. Lotad, Cricketot. Poplio is also another one from these spawns. Cricketot again. A 50,000 milliamp battery. That is ridiculous amount of battery coverage. That is. Maybe I'll have to borrow that sometime. It was only like $50. Oh, I might have to look into them. I think the best brand of battery pack I've come across when I've been doing Pokemon Go and stuff is Anchor. I think Anchor are one of the best ones. I don't know what brand that one is that you're on about. But I've never seemed to have much of a problem with Anchor. Always seems to be good, decent stuff, really. Jigglypuff. Oh, a no-name brand. Fair enough. As long as it works well, that's the main thing. Yeah, the Chatot spawn rates are terrible from this event. I did it in my local community yesterday after the community day finished yesterday, and we didn't get many Chatots. We had Spatial Wren. We loaded up around about 8 stops around us, and we could reach all 8 with the spawns with Spatial Wren, and the Chatot spawns were terrible. Here's another one though. My 2000 milliamp weighs more. Chatot that. No shiny. Would be so cool to get a shiny Chatot. So cool. Not getting any decent ones really. Chatot that. No shiny. Zero start. Lotad. Jigglypuff, Lotad. So nothing good on them. Let's just stay here and see what these do respawn into. Spawns have just vanished. Poplio, Lotad, and Jigglypuff. Let's go see which one has spawned on the upper stop. Ardeno here. Did manage to get a shiny Ardeno yesterday during the summer concert event after the community day. It's just an absolute pain for it to stay in the ball. Lotad. So we've got around about 15 minutes of this event remaining. Hopefully we can get a few more Chatot before that finishes. And then we've got... There is a Chatot. Still no shiny. 791. There's another Chatot. Still no shiny, 1200. Slightly better on the CP there. Both rows stayed in the ball. First catch. Spawned on this upper one again. No, you're back this time. Very rarely see any Chatot on that upper one. Seem to be mainly these three down here where we're getting the most Chatot. Lotad. Lotad on the nearest stop as well. One of these two outer stops. Any Chatot gonna appear? Odd note. Again, odd note, an absolute pain for it to stay in the ball. These ones have just disappeared again, so we'll just stay down here until we respawn. See what we get. Jigglypuff, Jigglypuff. Odd note, there is a Chatot there though. Shiny Chatot? No. Wishful thinking. 174 did stay in the ball. We'll check to see if these Chatot are any good at the end. As the thunder rumbles again above our heads. Hopefully not going to get too wet during Darumaka Max Monday in a minute. Come on, this top stop has got to spawn a Chatot at some time. Not at this moment. Cricketot. Noibat on the middle one. And the outer two. What are they going to spawn? Lotad and Poplio. Not very good spawns again on these stops. The Chatot drop rate doesn't seem very high at all. The shiny apparently is increased, but the drop rate is not very good at all at the moment. 2 kilometre egg though, ducklet. It's a shame you can't get Chatot in any way, shape or form in anything else other than these load up Pokestops. Cricketot on that top one. This middle one hasn't spawned anything for quite a while. Or don't know now. Come on, Chatot, where are you? There's Chatot, no shiny, 74 CP. So let's see what these spawn has in a minute when we wait down here. Because they have just all disappeared on these 3 or 4 stops that we can reach. Jigglypuff, Poplio, Cricketot. So let's head up to this stop here again and see what's appearing on this one. Lotad on the middle one. And Cricketot on the top one. Nothing any good. Nine more minutes. 9 more minutes to get a Shiny Chatot. Of course, we've got tomorrow as well, but I would much rather like to have one today, and then we aren't going into the last day needing one still. I don't think many people at all have managed to get one in my community. In fact, I don't think anybody in my community have managed to get one unless they've kept it very, very quiet. So like I say, and apparently the shiny rate is increased, but the drop rate definitely doesn't seem to be. A couple more low tads appearing on these stops down here. Noibat and Jigglypuff. Noibat's just disappeared, so we'll see what that appears into in just a second. Let's just claim that walk 2 kilometers, and it's Grievard 431. Seems quite a high CP. Let's see how good that one was. Ooh, 93, not bad. Not bad at all. Cricketot has now respawned. Ardeno on the middle one. Come on, Chatot, where are you? There's got to be a Chatot on one of these. Surely. Noibat on the middle. Ardeno on the end one. So let's get the hotspot on so I can have a look at the comments on the other phone. Low tad spawning. Cricketot, I thought I was a Chatot then. Low tad is rather annoying just because of the size of it. And to block your view. More Cricketots. Low tad again in the middle stop. As we enter 5 more minutes remaining. And it looks like it's going to start really raining in just a second. Jigglypuff. Don't think we've had a Chatot on that top stop this whole hour. Could be wrong. It definitely doesn't seem to be worthwhile walking up that way. I know if I stop though, it will spawn one, which I don't want to miss out on. The fear of missing out. Chatot, no shiny. 1088. Not a bad CP. The other two are Cricketot again. So let's just have a quick look and see if that one was any good. It being a half decent CP, it wasn't. So Cricketot on the middle. Noibat, Cricketot, and what's going to appear on this last one, this end one. Come on, spawn. Spawn. I don't know on both of these. I don't know that. I don't know here. And that top stop, what's this going to be up here? Let's have a quick look and see. Got an Ordino back down there. There is a Chatot. No shiny. 127. I think the first Chatot we've had from that stop up there in the last few moments. So in 2 minutes' time, we will start our daily adventure incense. We'll also head across to the Darumakas, which spawn off the Dynamax stops, and see if we can get any decent Darumaka or even shiny Darumaka from the Dynamax Max Monday today. Got just over a minute left to go of the summer concert event, or of these lore modules, should I say, during the summer concert event, and then we'll head over to those Darumakas when we all appear. And we should have enough particles to do quite a few of them today. They are level 2 Darumaka, so that means we are 400 particles each. But we have got a number of particles left from yesterday, 1700 left from yesterday, and we still haven't got used any from today, or claimed any from today, should I say. So we have got around about 2,500 particles in total, meaning we should be able to do about 6 of the Darumakas before running out. Could you open my gift? I could definitely open your gift in a minute, Jonathan. Right in saying it's Winner, isn't it? Your in-game name. Awesome. Yeah, I'll open that in a minute, Jonathan. So 6 o'clock has now ticked over, so we have now got the Darumakas spawning with 59-minute timers, which we'll see is until 7 PM, but we're just going to carry on until these stops start to fade out on the lore, which will happen in just a second, I would think. It's a shame it doesn't give you a countdown as to how long is left on a lore module on a stop. I wouldn't think it's too much longer now. In fact, that one has now faded out there. That one is there. So let's head to these three and see if there's any last minute Chatot spawns on these three Pokestops. Any Chatots appearing? Lotad, Jigglypuff, Machop, which must have been hiding under the Lotad, Nuibat, Poplio, must be into the last remaining seconds now of these lure modules. I'm sure they'll start to disappear in just a second. Until we do, we'll just pick off the spawns from them. Any final spawns from these before we disappear? Jigglypuff, Ardeno, Jigglypuff. So I'd assume they were the last spawns. That's what I'm going to assume. I don't think these lure modules have got many seconds remaining. I'm surprised they've gone on for as long as they have, to be fair. I'm sure we put them on not long after those other two. Maybe enough for one more spawn? Are we lucky enough to get one more spawn off these three Pokestops here? There we go. We've all gone back to normal. So, no shiny Chatot from that hour. Let's have a quick look and see how many decent ones we managed to get. So, 3-star, managed to get a couple. That one, 698, was the only one we actually managed to get today. If you look on the dates there across the bottom, 20th of the 7th, 21st of the 7th. So, only one 3-star today. Any 4-star? Were we any lucky enough to get 4-star Chatot? We wasn't. So, no Hundo Chatot, no shiny Chatot. Let's go ahead and open Jonathan's gift, and then we will do our daily adventure incense as we walk to these across here. So we are 2 days away from going Ultra Friends. I'll open yours, and this will mean you have the trigger gift, Jonathan. So just to make you aware, when you open that tomorrow, it will trigger a friendship. So maybe wait until I'm live tomorrow night for Spotlight Hour, and we could do it all then if you wanted to. Skidoo. Nice little spawn there, Skidoo. Right, so let's go ahead and put that daily adventure incense on and see what we get from it. Hopefully a glaring bird or two. Starts off with a milk tank. Nimble, the second spawn from it. Nidoqueen, quite a nice little wild spawn there. Did manage to stay in the ball as well, which was good. Yamper. Jangamo, although it's had a com date, it's still a nice spawn, Jangamo. Still something I click on regularly when it spawns. Very much like any dragon Pokemon, I suppose. Dratini, Bagon, Gibble, they've all had com days, but we still do seem or feel a bit rare in the game, even after the com days. It's going to start absolutely peeing it down now. Well, let's see if we can jump in on this one, and we can. Get under a little bit of shelter here. Under a tree. So this is the first Darumaka of the evening. Let's see how good this is on our first one. Now, I think the Hundo is around about 823 CP. Maybe a little bit off with that, but if we get anywhere near that, it will be good at least. I've definitely had some in the 700s in the past with Darumaka. So anything around the 820 mark and over looks like to be a decent one. So G-Max Kingler is going to be doing most of the damage here. Swipe in to collect that energy there. We will have to Dynamax with this, with it being a level 2. No matter what Pokemon you use, you will have to Dynamax or Gigantamax. In this case, we are going to Gigantamax a Shiny Kingler. Very, very cool Gigantamax. Huge beard it all sudden gains. I think that's a beard that Santa Claus will be happy with. Win a max battle, complete. Win 3 max battles, of course, that is part of the research, the lead-up research to the Dynamax Latios and Latias. That's on the special page. Well, on the events tab, should I say. No shiny Darumaka. What was the CP? 789. That is absolutely terrible. Garbage. Excellent throw, though. And it doesn't stay in the ball. It's about right, that is. Terrible throw, and I bet it will stay in the ball. I bet you. No. I don't know what's happening though with that Pokeball. Let me just wipe the screen. There we go. Caught with a terrible throw, as always. 789. Let's just appraise that just for a laugh. It's going to be terrible. We know it's going to be terrible, and it is terrible. 10, 14, 12. Can get a lot worse, amazingly. Glaring Slowpoke. Let's collect me 300 for walking. Sceptile in the wild. That's a very nice spawn. Could have been shiny because of a mega. Wondered what that was, a Mulga. And there's a Skidoo as well. Loving these random spawns at the moment. I wonder whether this is all lead up. I know these spawns sort of all of a sudden, there was reports about a week ago of really random and weird spawns like Skidoo and Ninjask and stuff like that. Ninjask, for example, has never appeared in the wild ever before, and then all of a sudden it started appearing in the wild for the first time ever about a week ago. So I do wonder whether it's all on purpose in terms of the Dynamax Externius, which is apparently coming out into the game in the next couple of weeks. Of course, that changes the dimensions a bit and stuff like that, so perhaps more Pokemon are getting through onto the game because of the change in dimensions, which Externius is doing. And Externius also has a very, very cool ability, and I don't know if it will get added into Pokemon Go, but Externius has the ability to turn any Pokemon into a G-Max or D-Max Pokemon. So it would be very, very cool to see how they put that into the game. Being able to all of a sudden start spawning random D-Maxes in the wild would be pretty cool. Whether that's going to be the case or not, I don't know. It may not even add its ability into the game, but we'll have to wait and see on that. And again, the rain's getting a bit heavier now, making gameplay a little bit worse for wear now. But the second Darumaka is done. Let's have a quick look and see how good this one is. 808. Well, it could only get better than the first one, I suppose. Oh no, that's a lie. Actually, it could have got worse, but surely it was only going to get better from 780 something CP. And we have now got one over the 800 mark. Like I say, I think it's around about 820 we need to get closer towards to get anything of decent IVs. So praise this one. 808 is a 3-star. It is 15 attack, but it's 14 and 10 on the other two stats. So heading in the right direction, maybe. I would say the closest one is that one there at the campsite. So we'll go down there now. As it continues to fund it. 812 CP is 15, 15, 10. Right, that's a good one at 812. Maybe it is around about 820 then we need to be aiming towards. I've got 823 in my head, but I don't know if that's right or not. I could be miles off. Catch a Ditto task. That's going to be a rather annoying task to do. Let's see if we have got a Hundo Darumaka. There's a 906 there, but that obviously isn't the same sort of level we're looking at. There's a 453 here, but if we power this up, it will go to 823. Yes, I would say it's 823 then. Would be the Hundo that we need off these Dynamax. Horrible, horrible weather. See very, very dark grey skies above me. It's not looking good. Absol. Nice. Spawn again. Do love an Absol spawn. Especially when it goes to that lovely orange colour. Love it even more then. This is ridiculously terrible weather now. And yet still we're alive and still we carry on. This isn't a good weather for Darumaka today, with it being a fire type. It's perhaps very, very good weather for Quaxley like we had yesterday on the com day. As they say, a perfect day, perfect weather for ducks today. And of course Quaxley is a duck Pokemon. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on, then please do so, because we are playing in the midst of a thunderstorm. How many YouTubers do you watch do that? Not many, I would say. Maybe time for the hood. Commitment to this game is, yeah, commitment is a bit ridiculous by this stage. Terrible weather. Doing Darumakas, which probably are all going to be terrible. All for the love of streaming on YouTube. Yeah, Pogo player, yeah, exactly. I think every Pogo player has experienced this sort of weather and getting soaked, and yet still finding a way to carry on. I think if it wasn't for Pokemon Go, a lot of people would have just ran inside bites at this stage. But for some reason, Pokemon Go players try and find a way to just carry on relentlessly, no matter what the weather. But it must come a time when we think, enough's enough. I am getting soaked right now, I must admit. 778, it gets worse. I think it's even worse than the first one. Oh, this is terrible. Horrible weather. Horrible Darumakas. And we won't even save a ball. I mean, it's terrible, and yet it still won't save a ball. There we go. Oh my God. It can get worse. It's a 12-10-10, but it can get worse, people. The floor must be around 770 then. That is shocking. That is shockingly bad. Dynamax Ghastly from the research. I don't know what that throw was. I think the rain pretty much did that throw. It's an extra small one. That is a super cool Dynamax. Extra small, no way. That is super cool. I'm happy with that. So yeah, I wasn't expecting it to rain this much, I must admit. It is bouncing. Where's the nearest Darumaka? Yeah. This is really bad. I don't know if people can see, but it is absolutely bouncing off the road right now. I don't know if people can see that. I'm going to try and make it a little bit bigger. Oh no, that's the biggest I can do. But yeah, he's absolutely bouncing off the road right now. This is fun. This is all fun. Try showing my camera app. That's a good idea, actually. Let's go on my camera app. There you go. Fun. It's all fun. I'm getting rather wet now. This is not fun anymore. Yeah, I don't know what to do right now because it's a little bit ridiculous. I mean, just look at this. It is actually bouncing off the road, and I'm getting absolutely soaked right now. It's a good job this is waterproof. I'm getting soaked. This is not fit for Pokemon Go. This is terrible. Yeah, I'm in the UK, yeah. I tell you what I'm going to do. There's a bus stop here. I have shelter. I'm going to sit in the bus stop. Ooh. I'm going to sit in the bus stop out of the rain, and I'm going to see if it calms down. If it does, calm down, then brilliant. If it doesn't, then we're going to have to finish. We're going to have to finish the live stream early, unfortunately. So let's see what happens in the next 5 minutes or so, and we'll make a decision after that. This is properly bad. It's still absolutely bouncing off the road. And although the shelter, or the bus shelter, is keeping me dry, when the cars drive past, it's splashing the puddle and getting me soaked. So I'll stand on the opposite end now. So, welcome to Danzo Biggins' YouTube channel, where I am taking shelter in a bus stop from the rain. That's how much of a hardcore Pokemon Go player I am. Like and subscribe. I'll just show you the camera app again because this is ridiculous. You can see how much the road has flooded already, and it's only just started raining. It's just running off people's driveway. The road here is flooded. The road across the other side is just terrible. And then you might be able to see down here, it is just absolutely bouncing off the road. So, yeah, we are definitely not making the most of this daily adventure intense. And nor are we making the most of Darumaka Max Monday. We've done 3. We've done 3 so far. And the rain has put a halt to things. crazy how fast the cars go past here. So I'll give it another minute or so, and if the rain doesn't hold up any, I'm going to have to finish a live stream, unfortunately. A bit of a shame, but hopefully you can understand the last thing I want to happen is to get so soaked wet through that I wake up with a cold tomorrow, the day before my charity walk, which isn't what I want to do. I want to be going into that charity walk on Wednesday fit and raring to go. Definitely don't want to be waking up with a cold and feeling like crap. Yeah. I think we may have to call it there, unfortunately. It is still chucking it down. So it looks like the weather has got the best of us this Max Monday event. I can only hope it's better tomorrow for Spotlight Hour. Spotlight Hour tomorrow is Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff Spotlight Hour. Hopefully you can join us for that. We may also do an hour of the summer concert event again to try and get a Shiny Chatot. Hopefully we can try and get one. And we'll also try again tonight with Chatot, although not on the live YouTube channel. We may try and see if we can reach one from our home stop. But that will be it for today, unfortunately. The weather has defeated us on the live stream today. Thunder showers is not the best weather to play Pokemon Go in, but hopefully you can all tune in tomorrow. We will be live again at around about 4:45, where we'll do an hour of the summer concert event before the Spotlight Hour, the Jigglypuff Spotlight Hour. And of course, tomorrow is also the start of the second Ultra Unlock event featuring that Honedge on level 1 raids, and also the 4 times catch XP and 4 times catch Stardust. So hopefully, as Jonathan says in the comments, hopefully the weather is a lot better tomorrow and we can start making the most of that XP event. But thanks for everybody who's tuned in today and stuck with us. The weather may have defeated us, but hopefully we get the better of it tomorrow. Thanks very much for watching. Like the video, subscribe to the channel as well, and turn that notification bell on. And I'll see you on the next one.